Hi everyone, this is Killshot 99 Game. This is The Walking Dead Season 10 finale, Comic-Con review, and major debate. We got news, we got information, we got speculation, and I'm going to talk about a theory a little bit. Not my theory, but I'm entertaining some thoughts about a theory that could have been out there. We'll see. We got some options. But first of all, I want to thank all of you guys for being here. I know you guys are super excited for some Walking Dead. I want to thank all of you guys that have just supported the channel for a super long time, whether it's gaming, whether it's Walking Dead, whether it's Freestyle Friday, whether it's random things. We have an awesome group, and that's a big shout out to the group right there on the screen, the Patreon Army. PDL sponsors, our very own game we created, role-playing, our green team, our moderators. And the reason I'm hyping this up quite a bit is because you guys know there is a release date, right? So who here knows when the Walking Dead finale will officially be back on television? You guys type the date in chat right now. So they did make the announcement at Comic-Con. So I'm pretty excited about that. I'm glad to have all of our family back. Certainly we're going to be back in full force. We're going to be doing bold predictions. We're going to be doing reactions. We're going to be doing theories all throughout the week. So we know, right, that October 4th, that's the date, everybody. I see Casey. I see Rick Grimes in the house. I see you, Grimes. October 4th, right? So what's cool about that, you guys may or may not know this. October 3rd is the 6-year anniversary of our channel. So the day before Walking Dead debuts is 6 years that I've been streaming on YouTube, starting from gaming tutorials way back in 2014. October 3rd, 2014 is when we kicked this thing off, and 3,500 videos later, we are still here rocking this joint, and it's thanks to all of you guys. So it's going to be a great week. We're going to celebrate 6 years with the 999 Army. We're going to go Walking Dead on October 4th. Then October 11th, we got Fear. And it's this time of year that I do my Fear the Walking Dead plea and say, hey guys, come on, give it one more season. But you know what? This is every 2 seasons, they hit it, right? This season, my bold prediction is going to be Fear the Walking Dead is going to be pretty good. Now, look, I still don't like Jenny. I'm not really sold on Jenny, but apparently it's going to be an anthology. So that interests me a little bit more. When the group is all together and they're carving trees, painting trees, doing murals, all of that stuff, I'm just not feeling the Fear the Walking Dead vibe. But when we follow individual characters around, I think there's a little bit more that that they can do with the story to kind of reel us in a little bit. So I think Fear is going to be good. I've always been on board with The World Beyond. I think that spinoff 2 seasons is going to tell a big story. Now that's all the good news. Here's the bad news. It's going to be confusing as hell. The time skips, 3 shows, the stories. We are going to really need to be doing full CSI mode. We're going to need to be here 3-4 nights a week talking about the time skips and how this is going to relate to this story and that story and that story. And that kind of brings me to this masked figure. I've got, I think 4 options. 4 options that I think this masked figure can be. And the reason why, well, Kim, it's like, it is what it is, right? Kim says, you make Fear sound like a comedy. I don't make it sound like a comedy. They make it like a comedy. I'm just along for the ride. I want it to not be a comedy. I want it to be intense, and I want it to be serious, but it just hasn't been. I mean, they have not, very rarely have they ever had me on the edge of my seat. And some of the things they do, it had its own saying, Fear of the Walking Dead coincidental. When a storm just comes up at just the right second, and this happens and this happens and everything's sort of interrelated. I mean, there's more coincidence on Fear of the Walking Dead. I can buy into a little bit of it, but we've always begged for a villain. We still haven't gotten that. But, this year does look like they're going to take it a little bit more to the serious side. So, here's a couple of directions I think this masked character can go. Now, a couple of weeks ago, I said, maybe it's Maggie making her debut. Okay. Now, I didn't really look at the biceps of the person that well when I said this could be Maggie. That's not Maggie. That's a man. The figure that's up on the screen, I'm going to bet is a male figure. Would you agree with that? Look, it could be. It could be a buff female, but I'm just saying that to me looks more like a male than a female. So, with that being said, and I know the Heath discussion is out there, I personally would have Heath as probably one of the lowest. I'm not saying it can't be a female. I'm saying if I had to bet, it's a guy. I don't want to make this about politics and what it could be. Who disagrees? I mean, if you think it's a female, say it's a female. Don't call me out for saying it could be a male. Just say, hey, Kills, I think that's a female. Or say, I think it's a male. I'm going on record of saying, I think that's a male. Who agrees? And if you disagree, there's nothing wrong with disagreeing. Just say, I disagree. Lynn, see, I don't think that's Maggie. I really, really don't think that's Maggie. And I'll tell you who I do think it is. I'm going to give you a few options. Number one, it could be Morgan. I think it's more likely to be Morgan than Maggie. I don't think it's Morgan, but I'm going to throw Morgan's name out there. I'm going to throw Morgan's name out there because of the time skips. The word is out there that Fear is going to be doing a lot of crazy time skips. With that being said, I think the odds of it being Morgan are less than 5%. But I'm going to put Morgan's name out there. Okay? I think it's more likely, and I don't think this is the right answer either, I think Virgil is more likely than Morgan. We saw Virgil. We don't know Virgil's backstory. He goes into Oceanside. Nobody's there. So just because we saw Virgil at Oceanside does not mean that Virgil is not a badass and picks up his weapons and can actually fight. But I don't think it's Virgil. But I would say it's more likely to be Virgil than Morgan. Now the next two, I feel much, much stronger about. And I'm going to give you what I think is the second most likely, and then potentially the most likely. That is not a whisperer mask. I want to talk about Dwayne. I'm sorry. I want to talk about Dwayne. I don't think, and I said for the longest time, it's not Dwayne. But I am going to open up the door and say it could be. And I'll tell you why. Because something recently happened that I started to think about to make me think that they could bring Dwayne back. I don't want to sound crazy with this theory, because I know for a long time we said, that's not likely. But let me tell you why I think it could be likely, and it could be Dwayne. A, we never saw Dwayne die. Okay? B, Morgan was in a very, very scattered state when he talked about Dwayne's death and some of the things that he mentioned to Rick. Some of Morgan's quotes. I'm going to give you some quotes from that part, that episode clear. And just listen to these quotes. I think you're going to find some interest in some of these. So, Morgan talking to Rick, hey, is your boy dead? No. No, he will be. See, because people like you, the good people, they always die. And the bad people do too. But the weak people, people like me, we inherit the earth. So he says this to Rick. We were looking for food. You know, it always came down to food. I was checking out a cellar, and I didn't want Dwayne to come down with me. And then when I came up, she was standing right there in front of him. And he had his gun, and he couldn't do it. So I called to him, and he turned. And then she was just on him. So this is Morgan's recollection. But Rick says, do you know who I am? Do you see who I am? Morgan says, people wearing dead people's faces. Now, that certainly is a lot of foreshadowing, right? People wearing dead people's faces. But hold on. This is what Morgan says about Carl and Rick. And look at how true this is. He says, Rick, you're taking a lot of guns. Rick says, we're going to win. You can be there. Morgan says to Rick about him and Carl, you will be torn apart by teeth or bullets, you and your boy. Well, Carl was torn apart by teeth. So that was right there telling us what was going to happen to Carl a long, long time ago. This is Morgan, the soothsayer. Now, if you're Dwayne and you don't think your father has a chance, I'm just going to throw it out there. Dwayne might have just thought, you know what? This is over. This man is crazy. I'm better off fending for myself. We see what Judith can do at that age. So I'm just going to put it out there. This could be Dwayne. And do you guys realize how many people are familiar with the Michonne Commonwealth story in the comics? So Michonne goes to Commonwealth to only find out her daughter's still alive. Elodie's still alive. So I'm just not opposed to the fact, and I agree, Dimes. Dimes says we never saw Dwayne die. Thanks for that super chat, Dimes. And is it possible that Dwayne has somehow gotten in with the Commonwealth, much like Michonne's daughter did in the comics, and Dwayne now has Michonne's comic arc? Just think about it a little bit. Possibility. So, well, I'm not trying to change your mind. I'm discussing it. If your mind is set, your mind is set. But it's as interesting of a theory as Morgan coming back, as Heath coming back, as Virgil coming back, or the most likely scenario is that it's Mercer from the Commonwealth. And 177 maybe is the episode. So Mercer could be a brand new character. Now, here's why it's probably more likely Mercer than Dwayne. Although, I think it would be very cool if it was Dwayne at this point. He has the weapons. His body language is like Morgan. He could have followed in his father's footsteps, and he might be looking for his father after all these years. Possibility. So Mercer could be introduced earlier. It's not a matter of bigger, smaller. Comics versus TV, Trigger. We've never seen Mercer in the television show. It's not like if Beta's 7 feet tall in the comics and Beta's 6 feet 5 in the TV show. It's not like they can't change up the size. We're not going for exact replicas. He might not have a Mr. T haircut either. Maybe he doesn't have a Mr. T haircut. All I'm saying is Mercer could be rolled out early in order to provide a favor for the group that they sort of have the opportunity to help him out if he decides to overthrow Pamela Milton. So maybe it's like I'll help you right now, you might help me later on type of deal. And there's the part of me that wants it to be Dwayne. Now that I think about it a little bit more, I think about Michonne's arc, and I think about how, look, do we believe that Morgan was in a state of mind to accurately give a recount or a reoccurrence of what happened? I mean, he wasn't. If you listen to some of the things he was talking about, and you've seen him go into clear mode multiple times, like 3-4 times already, and is it possible that Morgan is looking for Dwayne? Maybe Morgan actually thinks that Dwayne is still alive and he doesn't want to 100% admit it to anybody. So I just think it would be a cool twist. So Annie Cole says, I think it would insult our intelligence if it's Dwayne. You know what, Annie? I don't think it would insult our intelligence any more than some of the other things that they've done throughout the show. Morales, the dumpster, CGI deer, CGI waterfall. Rick falling off a horse at the exact spot on the road where there was rebar. I mean, there's not a whole lot of rebar and a whole lot of concrete. My question is, why didn't they have that rebar as part of the bridge? Man, they should have hauled that stuff back already, and then it wouldn't have been there. But no, I mean, I think it would just be a cool tie-in. Now, the reason I said it's going to get a little bit confusing is because we're going to be comparing all of these different shows. Like, how does World Beyond tie into where The Walking Dead is? And the 6 bonus episodes. And Fear is behind, but when is Fear going to catch up? But we didn't see Dwayne die. And the only person we can believe is Morgan. So certainly you have the right to say, nope, 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 he's dead. But the writers certainly have the right to say, no, he's not. Because we need this story. We need this excitement. We need this energy. We need the Morgan legacy to carry on. We need a neat story that Morgan's son lived and then got in with the Commonwealth, and now he's looking for his dad and helping this group. I mean, there's a lot that we could add to that. So, I think it's 50-50. It's as much as asking a group, is Negan redeemed or not redeemed? You either believe Morgan and say his son is dead, or you say Morgan was a little bit crazy at the time, and it's possible he's not. So, a couple more things. As I said, Fear the Walking Dead. The trailer looks good, but doesn't the trailer always look good for Fear the Walking Dead? Have we ever seen Fear the Walking Dead when they did not have a good trailer? Last season was good. Man, I was so excited when I saw the trailer, and it just didn't. The trailer was basically the whole season. So Ben says the writers wrote exactly how Morgan told that story for a reason as an option later. I don't disagree. Ben, I think there's a time when they show it to us and they leave it open-ended. And I certainly think this is an option, that this is open-ended enough that they certainly could bring it back without a whole lot of resistance. Is anybody going to quit watching the show if this guy is Dwayne? Is anybody going to say, you know what? I've had enough. You played with my mind. Doesn't make any sense. That's silly. I'm not going to watch it anymore. Or, if this dude takes off his mask and says, I'm Morgan Jones, you're going to be like, holy crap, that's like Indiana Jones. Whoa, we got a badass. That's what we're going to do. That's why it's such a good story. Nobody's going to leave the show if this is Dwayne. They're going to love it. They're going to eat it up, man. All right, we got a couple more super chats. Let me jump in here. I got Christmas Girl. Isn't it safer to assume Morgan went crazy because of Dwayne's death? He was grieving Jenny, but not crazy when we met him. It's not impossible. It probably is, it's probably safe to assume that Morales was dead and he didn't make it all the way up to Virginia, but he did. Morales was a dud. I didn't care for the Morales thing. This would not be a dud. This would be a big deal. This is for The Walking Dead, Julia, not Fear. This is someone who is going to come out of the woods and either confront Alden and Aaron or help Alden and Aaron. Now, Alden knows Morgan barely, okay? Aaron certainly knows Morgan, right? Aaron recruited the group. Aaron was around him a long time. Alden was kind of coming in when Morgan was going out. The only thing Alden really knows about Morgan is that Morgan and Rick just killed a whole bunch of saviors that they really didn't have to kill. And then Morgan left. So Ben says, but he didn't go crazy because he still had Dwayne. He had to think Dwayne died to lose it. Well, you know what? And I agree, Ben. He's hearing a lot of voices. He's seeing people with other people's faces. He's seeing the death of Rick and he sees the death of Rick and also Carl. I mean, he's telling him this. This is like a biblical prophecy where he's saying, you know, you're going to die by bullets and you know what's funny about that? Carl got shot in the face, and then Carl got bit by walkers. I mean, I'll give you that quote again if you want it. You will be torn apart by teeth or bullets, you and your boy, your people, but not me, because I'm not going to watch that happen. So Morgan always hits the road. But I think it's funny that Morgan specifically says, you and your boy. Rick was shot a couple times. Carl shot, bitten by walkers. It's just that it's an interesting quote way, way back when. And so if you think that the writers are not, or that the writers are afraid to go back and reference a part of the story, that's why I wanted to read that example to you guys, because I want you to see that he was sort of teasing the Whisperers. I mean, you just don't bring up people with dead people's faces. I mean, that was an intentional Easter egg. Throw that out there. Let's see how quick the people are going to talk about the Whisperers. Throw that out there, and then, you know, Gimple and Angela Kang probably sitting around saying, you know what? Morgan said this 5 years ago. Let's go ahead and put that, let's make that death the one that happens. So why not bring Dwayne back? No, Bug. Dwayne was not in a dumpster. But I certainly could see Dwayne watching his father lose it and leaving. So let me get to a little bit more news, and appreciate you guys, you know, throwing your ideas in there. Christmas Girl. In Morgan's room, names are spray painted on the walls. It seems he talks of others he met up with that ended up dying and reanimating. Good point. And, you know, Christmas Girl probably would not hurt us to go back and kind of with the story. Some of you already have. Some people probably started at the beginning and watched all the way through. But I'm going to go back and really work on that episode a little bit too. I mean, there were some bits and pieces. Certainly the dialogue interests me. But I do want to go back and look at how much of that they might have used in future episodes. Fluff, I think it's someone from the group that Michonne has met up with, doing follow-up intel to whatever Michonne has told them. Well, Fluff, here's the thing. It doesn't appear that there's been enough time to really pass for I mean, look, you could take a helicopter ride and it's not impossible. Michonne might have sent word back. They would have had to get them in the area. But that could be a little bit of a stretch, Fluff, just because Michonne just left. We don't know what her journey, who she's met up with, if she's gotten in with that group. And this doesn't seem to be a few days? They've not had a lot of time. And Ross Marquand described this as a Michonne moment, which I thought was kind of funny too. That's what was so interesting about the Dwayne theory, is because Ross is sort of dropping this hint that it's a Michonne moment of this entry. Now, like I said, the odds are probably it's going to be somebody new. That it is going to be Mercer, I think, is the most likely. Just to, hey, here's a new character. You guys need to start liking him. But Dwayne would be an adult now. So it certainly could be Dwayne. Ben, have we ruled out Madison? No, Ben, don't. Yeah, it's Madison. No, it's Nick. It's Nick. Nick did not, Charlie didn't really shoot him. Mel the Vulture. It's Mel the Vulture in a mask. We saw Alicia shoot him, but we didn't see him actually die. I think there's a lot of really, really cool possibilities. Now, here's some more news. And we asked this question in a few of our streams about prequels, and I'll get to that in a minute. But yes, they are starting to talk about possibly Daryl, maybe Negan, prequels. Now, they're still talking about Game of Thrones prequels too. And I think in moderation, they wouldn't be bad. A Negan death and then a prequel might be pretty cool. Show you what he was like. Tom says, technically the Whisperers weren't introduced in the comics when 312 was released unless Kirkman had the idea in mind, which is I'm sure he had a lot of the content ready in advance. And probably couldn't have been that far off. I mean, we have to go back, Tom, and see what the time frame was. What, you think it was within a year maybe? Well, if you want to see a Glenn prequel, I don't know there's a lot to it, to be honest, because some of that was in the Telltale video games. Like, we've seen a little bit of Glenn, right? We saw him as a young pizza delivery guy, and then we saw a little teaser of that in the Telltale games, which I thought was very well done. Now, one thing I thought was pretty cool is we got the extended minutes. Now, it was only about a minute more, the extended version of it. So, we got a couple extra seconds of Maggie. We got the beta thing at the end, where they're hearing the voices. Now, one thing that I thought was pretty chilling, and it was almost like connect the dots because I didn't really see them moving, was when they panned out and you saw that building, how many people saw all the little dots that are guardians, that are walkers? Whoa. Whoa. Now, look, they could have did a little better CGI with that too. That's like my third CGI thing, is there's like 1,000 dots surrounding that building, at least. But they could have made them move a little bit more to show that they're surrounded. So I could safely say this. Can you guys think of a situation where we've ever seen more walkers than that situation? So this to me looks like this is it. This is look, we had We had walkers surrounding the sanctuary. We had that herd walking up, right after the Rock in the Road episode for the kingdom. So we've had some big herds. This is the herd of all herds. Well, it's because they're not supposed to be dots. They're supposed to be walkers, but they're fuzzy, and you can see all the little specks of gray completely surrounding the building, but they don't really move. So I think they could have did a little better job with the CGI there to make it crystal clear to everybody that that's a whole lot of walkers surrounding the group and how dire the situation is, because it is pretty bad. At best, we got like 50 people inside this building, and I couldn't count them all. But look, 2,000 walkers compared to 50 people. That ain't good. And I just don't know what is it about that place that made them feel safe. It doesn't look safe. But I will say, Father G has an extended conversation, where RJ's upset, and he says, look at the fingers. We got Alexandria, we got Hilltop, we got Oceanside, and we got the people from the kingdom. That's not enough. Oh, I wasn't done. What's that? Well, these are the people that are basically going to come to help us. So, it's foreshadowing that Eugene, that Virgil, that there's going to be other people. And then we see, this person, right? Jumps in and confronts, helps, whatever he's going to do to Aaron and Alden. I think he's meant to make us think he could be on the fence, but he's going to help. And then he says, hey, and together they make a mighty fist. So this Father G hype up conversation where he's talking to the kids, to me, tells me without a doubt, Rosita is dead. Rosita's going to die. You think it's going to be Father G. You're panning in on him. The old saying is people get a little bit of FaceTime right before they die. Not in this case. Father G is going to be raising Coco. Rosita's on the way out. The fact that they show Father G so much, I think it's a death sentence for Rosita. Rosita she's going to be the hero. That's got to be. I think Rosita, I think she's bitten. We've seen Rosita sick. She's hiding it. I think she's bitten, and I think she's gonna pull the sacrifice. There's no way you can get rid of all these walkers without doing something crazy and heroic, kind of like Andrea did. Rosita look, we know walkers are attracted to music, loud noise. They're going to show, there's got to be something out there. Radio, conversation, something. Rosita's going to find a way to get these walkers to follow her and go off the cliff. Yeah, but Julia, Rosita hasn't been a badass in a long time. We lost badass Rosita like 2 seasons ago. Last time Rosita was a badass was when her and Sasha. Last time Rosita was a badass was when she shot Negan in the baseball bat. I mean, when Rosita was with Eugene, she bumped her head. She should have been eaten by whispers and walkers at that point. They removed her badass title a long time ago, unfortunately. So Rosita, certainly we can chalk Rosita up, but I don't think Father G's going anywhere. I just got this feeling Seth is going to be around a little while. And you know what? Hey, real life, real talk here. Pay the people that don't have other jobs. Keep them on the show. You guys were freaking out that Jesus died. I'm going to say Tom Paine did pretty well. You guys think so? You guys think Tom Paine did okay? He ain't missing The Walking Dead. Tom Paine died, he got paid. Keep Seth Gilliam, pay him. Rosita's making money doing some other stuff. Let her do her other show. I do. I absolutely do, Ben. I think that's the moment when she was out there going crazy and risking it, and she had that conversation with Father G about being reckless, and she started to regret it. I think that's absolutely the moment she was bitten, and takes a few days, but that also probably shows you kind of like Carl. I also think that because it took Carl a little while, they probably showed us that Carl death and where he was bitten, because, Rosita, I think same place. Takes a little while. Get into your system from there. So some really good things. Now, it does appear, and this has been teased a while back. It was teased a while back that Beta and Negan will kind of come to blows. And I don't think, well, I mean, you can. I don't think it's a good idea to talk about all the action, potential death, and then not have any. As Annie Cole said a little bit ago, that would insult our intelligence if Dwayne. I think it would be more of an insult to our intelligence if this group is outnumbered like 500 to 1. And they find a way to get out of it without anybody dying. If Beta is one of the most vicious people on the show, and he marches up there with 5, 10, 15, 20,000 guardians, and they can't manage to kill 5 or 6, then that's a problem. So, and we might chalk it up and say, hey, we got The Walking Dead back, but I think at this point, you got to have a few, right? I mean, you got to have 3 or 4. Throw Beta a bone. Throw him a bone. Give him something. Negan can kill 10. Alpha, kill about 10. You got to give Beta at least a couple. I mean, at this point, I think Beta has probably killed more of his own. Think about this stat for a second. True or false? Beta has killed more Whispers than he's killed our group from Alexandria. Is that a true statement? Would you guys agree with that? So how can you have this big bad dude who is his sole purpose is vindicating alpha, and he marches up there with all the tools in the world, and he can't even kill like 3 or 4? Not even a slow-moving Alexandrians? There's got to be 3 or 4. Come on. You got to be able to catch a couple off guard. But no. I mean, look, he killed Gamma. He killed this other dude who recognized he was a country music singer just for recognizing him. And now he's got like the vengeance in his veins. Like, he's got the fire. He's got to be able to kill a few. Just on principle alone. So, yeah, I think they got to give us that. And then, give us a little bit of time to recover. Where's Connie? Is Rosita going to die? Alden's got to go. Yeah, there's a few. Christmas Girl says Beta's going to disappear till season 11 when faced with his own death. He runs away. Already gone a couple times. Hey, you know what? I would love it. I've been saying for months that I'm perfectly cool with one out there kind of lurking, right? Group thinks it's safe, and then bam, Beta kills one. See, that would be a great story. Beta marches in to Alexandria. Rosita outsmarts his guardians after a couple are killed. Alden dies. Luke's gone, right? Anybody here thinks that Luke's not dead? Luke's gone. Luke, Alden, Rosita, minimum. That's minimal. I'm asking for 5. I'll take 3. Luke, Alden, Rosita, that's the starter. But to Christmas Girl's point, maybe Rosita outsmarts them and her death kills all his guardians, and then he leaves, and then he's always out there lurking, and then every season he kills 3 or 4. I'm okay with that. I don't think they will. I think Walking Dead likes a certain amount of closure, but it would just always be cool wondering, hey, what happened to Bill? I don't know. He was hunting for wood. And then you find out it was Beta. And like a month later, what happened to Joey? I don't know. He was just, and then he's dead. Yeah, like Beta out there stalking. I think that'd be super cool. I don't care so much about Luke's girlfriend. I kind of need Luke to die. No offense, Johnny. But we gotta get a couple people who have like names. If you're referred to as Luke's girlfriend, you're not a major character. I know she has a name, but we never call her name. We call her Luke's girlfriend. That doesn't even count as a death. That's an accident. Our people are surrounded. Now, realistically, 50 of them could be eaten pretty easily by a couple thousand walkers. Unless you're on Fear the Walking Dead. Fear the Walking Dead, honestly. Here's another question. I'm trying to remember. Has anybody ever been pulled off the roof of a car? It seems like the roof of a car on The Walking Dead is like the safest place you can be. Now, I measured the roofs of several different types of cars. Usually about 4 to 5 feet across. The average human arm is It's around 2 feet, maybe a little bit over 2 feet. So if you have walkers and they all stretch out their arms, it covers the entire roof of a car. Try it. You guys try it tonight. Go outside with your significant other, your kids, stand around a car, and reach over the roof of a car, and you'll be able to touch hands. But if somebody's on the roof of the car, for whatever reason, you can't touch their ankles. I don't know why, but it's happened a lot. So all they really need to do is pull like 10 cars up there and stand on top of the cars, because apparently walkers will not pull you off of the roof of a car. Just one of those little quirky things about The Walking Dead. You know what? Because Annie Cole brought it up earlier about sometimes they insult our intelligence, standing on the roof of a car, to me, insults my intelligence. Look, John and June did it. Rick and Michonne did it. Morgan did it last season. That's 3 examples I can think of already of where 3 different groups of people, Rick and Michonne were both. That's 2 people. Makes it a little tougher. John and June did it as well. Not only did John and June do it, they crawled a rope across, and the walkers would not even lift their hands up and touch the rope. We'll save that for another day. Christmas Girl, Beta, peeping out from behind clotheslines like Michael Myers. Yeah, I like that. I like that idea. And you know, we don't even have to say it's Beta. Just somebody's missing. It'll just be one of those rumors, like what happened to him? I don't know. We never saw Beta die. Now, I know some people are going to do some research. Look, I'm sure somebody has died on the roof of a car. But I also say, up under a car, a lot of times is pretty safe too. Yeah, I mean, even if you have an SUV, Sheila, I'm not talking about walkers knock down fences. I know they don't climb, but they should pile, right? I mean, wouldn't you think, like, I'm not talking about 5. I'm talking about 100. 100 walkers, you got to assume that they're just not going to hit each other and fall backwards, that they're going to kind of gradually pile forward and, you know, scoot up a little bit, just a little bit more, until they completely cover, like ants. See, I see walkers as like ants, that eventually there's 100 of them and you won't see the car. But that's not what they do. Apparently they stop and they let the 5 in front alligator arm it, and they don't keep going. I don't know. I'm just pointing it out. All right. We're having a lot of fun with this, but let's get back to the serious topics of The Walking Dead. So, we do know October 4th is The Walking Dead debut, season finale. We also know Fear the Walking Dead, October 11th, the very next week. We also know that Fear the Walking Dead and The World Beyond are going to be running simultaneously. So, we're going to get a whole lot of, I don't know how we're going to talk about this. So, they did this before with Fear the Walking Dead, and we have to get our reactions in there. So, I think our reaction videos they're going to be interesting because, well, it's going to be like this chat. I don't know that I've stayed on one topic for more than 2 seconds. So when we get to the reaction videos, it's going to be a cluster. It's going to be a mess of stuff we're going to talk about. Hey, why is Morgan's eyes those people, those kids, yeah, it's going to be like that. But it's going to be fun because it's going to be sporadic. We're going to jump around. We're going to talk about what you want to talk about. We got super chats. Super chats are going to happen, so I'm going to stop whatever I'm That's the reason I can't stay on a topic. It's actually because of you guys. You guys give me new questions, which is what we do. It's unique. Ecom, what's up, Army? So these additional 6 episodes, that going to be new episodes post 16, spring 21, then 11. So, Ecom, it's a great question, and you probably know. You probably know the way I'm going to answer the question. So it is, they're tweeners. So it doesn't affect the finale, and supposedly it's not going to cut season 11 short. So what it looks like to me is they need to fill that time slot. And I'm not criticizing, because remember at the beginning of the year we were so hyped up, and what was it like? Hey, there's only going to be 6 weeks we don't have Walking Dead. We got Walking Dead the whole rest of the year. So it looks like because of COVID that we've missed 5 or 6 months worth of filming. So they're going to give us those bonus episodes to fill that time frame that they missed out in their normal filming time. So I think that's the reason for it. It's filler, but I think it's going to be good filler. It's not going to be like the Morgan episode. It's not going to be like and I know every time I say this, you guys give me hell for it. I didn't like the Morgan Eastman episode. I really didn't. I thought it was too long. It was a couple hours. I thought they could have did it in 30 minutes and I would have been okay with it. But I think it's going to be good stuff. And they can tie it into the other stories. So if I had to guess, Ecom, I'm going to say the bonus episodes are going to be the true connection to the Rick Grimes movies. I think that they're going to use those episodes to push us toward the Rick Grimes story. Just a thought. Bug, I'm predicting Luke's girlfriend and Diane going to die. Come on, guys. Stop calling her Luke's girlfriend. The One-Winged Angel, also known as Rick Grimes, says, will these 6 additional episodes focus on Maggie? I don't think so. Yeah, her name is Jules, is what he called her, to my knowledge. Yeah, I think it's Julie, but I'm pretty sure he called her Jules. So, One-Winged Angel, and look, I think that Maggie could, yeah, I mean, you got some Maggie material they could catch up. Some Commonwealth material. Maybe tie into the world beyond. And connection to the movie. Yeah, there's a lot we can do with it. I know you know, Bug. I'm not worried about you guys. I'm worried that I'm going to start doing it. Luke's girlfriend. I'll forget. Maggie says Jules and I'm telling you guys, it's just hard for me to look at that picture and think it's not a guy. It just looks like a guy's physique. It's not impossible. I think most people would agree. Because when people saw this, the first thing they thought was Morgan. They didn't think Maggie. It's just like, it's got to be Morgan. It's Rick. There you go. We'll start the rumors. They're bringing Rick Grimes back. It's a cool mask, though. I want to know the story with the mask. I mean, I guarantee you it's like something. You know, the Whisperers have a story. It's like some real cool, where the mask came from. It's a Vox mask. Right, Ron? 6 episodes of Dog. You know what? Dog could get his own episode. Hey, how many people are excited that we got some chat, we're having a good time, and The Walking Dead is back? So we just did an hour. So I want to say thanks to all of you guys for being here. Really appreciate hanging out with you guys. It's good to sort of brush the dust off a little bit and get the conversation going. We always have a good time. Sometimes we get crazy theories, but hey, couple of months and we are back in business. We are right back here. So I will probably be streaming Tuesday night, Thursday night, Sunday night. As more content comes out, as more ideas, more theories, we'll certainly ramp it up. But, I mean, honestly, the last few months, just wasn't a lot of content out there. I mean, it was a lot of recycled information. I want to do streams when we have our group here and we got something fun and entertaining to talk about. And, you know, I think tonight was certainly one of those nights where we got enough theories, enough ideas. And, you know, if we say it's 6 people, one of those 6 are probably right. So we'll just get our guesses out there. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put all of you guys on the spot. Each one of you in this stream right now can only pick one person. And I'm going to document it because I don't want to hear, kills. I said that was such and such. Yeah, you said 5 different names. Of course you were right. You get one pick. Everybody in chat right now, put who that is behind the mask. You get one choice and one choice only, and I'm going to hold you to it. Julia Muse, Kills, thank you for today. Dedication, we give this group 3 streams, absolutely. I'm having a blast with you guys. I love The Walking Dead. I love the 999 Army, and I love Play Dead Live. It's a part of everything I do. I know all the Walking Dead fans don't understand Play Dead Live, but at least you guys know that we created a game, and at least you respect it, so I thank you for that. We're not going anywhere with The Walking Dead either. So I will always be here to my dedication, my drive for this show is unwavering. So just because I'm doing something on a Monday night does not mean that we're not here Tuesday, Thursday, some Saturdays, and also Sunday night in our 8 o'clock time slot talking about The Walking Dead. So I see Dwayne. I see somebody else saying Dwayne. Animal says Maggie. Danny K says Maggie. Diana says Andre. Michonne's son. We got Mercer, Maggie, Andre, Dwayne, Connie, Mercer. New character. No new name. New name and a new person. Dwayne. I think a new character. Someone new. Good stuff, everybody. All right, so I'll give you guys shout-outs in another time because we already hit 9:04. So big shout-out to all the patrons. Big shout-out to our PDL sponsors. Big shout-out to all our green team. As I said, Jason Mixologist Daily, over 2 years of being a member. If you guys want to be a member, hit the link down below. You'll get a lot of cool emojis. Your name will be in green. I mean, you can't beat that, right? And we're also going to be bringing back our Super Fans of the Month. So, you'll get those custom emojis and be able to show the support of all of our super fans. I know I owe Moonshot his very own emoji, but we'll be starting August 1st with brand new super fans. And it's just a way to show that we love everybody here. Our moderators, we got Julia Muse, Kel, Ben the Tin Man, Tommy the Tank, and Amy Bones Ferrero. And, of course, all of you guys. Do me a favor. I'm not going to shout everybody out, but a big shout out to the 999 Army. If you guys can hit the like button and also give a 999 as we wind down the stream. Talk to you guys all very soon. We'll be doing PDL tomorrow and back to Walking Dead on Tuesday. Peace.